Well, it is 7:05, and I'm going to officially start this coaches, coxswain, and athletes meeting. So, welcome to the 2025 version of the Head and Tail of the Gorge Regatta. Warm welcome to all those who are participating with us, those who have traveled from the mainland, from outside BC and the US, and the local crews as well. Thank you for joining us in what is turning out for us anyways to be a record entry since we've taken on the regatta from UVic. So we're really excited for this edition of HOGTOG 2025. I'd like to start by acknowledging the Lukunjan people of the Songhees and Esquimalt nations whose waterways we're privileged to use. It's long been a place for meeting and sustenance for the Indigenous people of the region. And the health of the ecosystem is integral to both the human and non-human communities around us. I'm going to take a minute. This has been unusual at a meeting like this, but to talk about something that's very important to us as a rowing community, as is Gorge Narrows, as a regatta, and that's our environmental commitment. GNRC is a member of the World Rowing WWF Healthy Waters Alliance. It's an initiative to protect and restore water and coastal ecosystems. World Rowing is also, and as are also signatories of the Sport for Nature framework. This pledges that sport should contribute positively to nature and not degrade it. So we commit to doing things like raising awareness of the water quality and the ecosystem health, partnering with local projects to help restore the habitats, and leaving the regatta site in better shape than what we arrived, which is where you come in as a community to help us meet that commitment. Each year, local volunteers pitch in to clean up our shorelines and waterways, and we just did a cleanup 2 weeks back just to improve the environment, do what we can to improve the habitat for fish, birds, amphibians, and making the area more inviting to the community. If there's any club here that is interested in or curious about environmental initiatives and stewardship, please do reach out to me during the regatta, after the regatta. I'd love to talk to you more directly about how you can get involved. We're also involved with Rowing BC's Row Electric pilot project using electric engines, and just would like to thank them for everything that they're doing to help us keep that initiative going. And yeah, so on to some event logistics and regatta details. I'm assuming that everybody has familiarized themselves with the regatta package, so I'm going to try to avoid touching on too many of the things that were in that package. It is on Regatta Central. So if you have not familiarized yourself with that package, please do. We have not printed out copies of that regatta package for obvious reasons. So do familiarize yourself. Right, the registration table opens at 7 a.m. There you can collect your bow numbers for the whole weekend. The registration table is located inside the pavilion. Please avoid pressurizing my volunteers who will be there from 6 a.m. But please avoid pressurizing them to pick up your envelopes early. So again, registration packages can be picked up from 7. The merchandise tent or inside table inside the pavilion will be opened at 8. I stress again, there is very limited merch. So if that's something that's important to you, you need to get there early. There's some hoodies and some t-shirts. Food trucks will be on site. We have a specialty coffee truck coming in this year. So they'll be on site from 7 a.m. serving
Abby too.
coffees.
We get all jazzed
But
up.
there are 3 or 4 food trucks, other food trucks that are there to service you throughout the day. We encourage teams to stick around for dinner. The food trucks are going to stay late this year to 7 o'clock. There's even a dessert truck coming in. We do have a liquor license from 12 o'clock onwards. So we really want to make this space a time for people to be able to engage with other crews, connect with one another, and be able to have some social time outside of the racing. So there'll be a good block over the lunch hour between 12 and 2 where there's not a lot happening. We encourage you to gravitate towards the pavilion and the food trucks, chat with each other, but also stay after the racing and come in, grab again some food, grab a drink, join us. Medals, they'll be ready for pickup after each flight. Once results are confirmed, and then give us another hour after that, please. It takes a little bit of organizing. Again, try not to pressurize my volunteers. They are working as fast as they can to get those things out to you. I'm sure we all want to know about the costume contest. It's my favorite, one of my favorite parts of this. On Saturday,
red and white bag is where
the
costumes are.
judging of the contest will be done by anybody wearing one of these t-shirts. Right, they are all judges. They will be reporting back. So judges are definitely influenced by teams who are in character and seemingly really getting into the spirit of what the dress up part of this regatta is about. Of course, we expect that not when you're on the water. No one is expecting anything while you're racing. Please focus on your racing, get the racing done, race fast, race hard. But when you're on shore, we'd love to see you hamming it up. We want to get some great pictures. Make sure that you tell whoever is taking a picture of you who you are, what club you come from. In the past, in doing this, we found that we can't track down some of the people that were dressed up great and enjoying this small part of what this regatta is about. And results for that costume will be posted on the HOGTOG participant chat, and you can pick up your prizes at the pavilion. Right, and before I hand this over to Gordon, the chief umpire, I'd just like to spend a bit of time giving some gratitude and acknowledgments to people that help us put this together. So we have a multitude of sponsors that help cushion our costs and make the event possible. The sponsors are posted around the regatta site. Please take note to read them. It's the only credit we can do to help support the local businesses that are coming in to support us to put on this event. A huge shout out to the organizing committee who have been meeting monthly for the past year. And a special thanks to the 96 volunteers who signed up to help for these 2 days to pull it all together. Most important, though, we could not do this event without our umpires, and Gordon Sund has been the chief umpire for the 4th year running with us. Anyways, I don't know how many years before that, but for 4 with us, and his team of 13 umpires that are supporting him throughout the weekend. When you see those umpires, please, a handshake, a nod, a thank you goes a long, long way. They are volunteering their time to be there, and we cannot run this regatta without the umpires. They're very important. And a special mention to Keith Battersby, who is our angel of the Narrows. He sits underneath that bridge for now, what I'm asking him to do for 2 days. And he calls you through the Narrows and helps the crews navigate the current. So, and I just saw a wave from Keith. And Keith, I'm hoping that at the end, after Gordon speaks, you'll just give us a few tips and tricks about getting through those Narrows. So, and one last little thing to mention is that on Sunday, you will notice that there are some drones flying around the regatta site. They are associated with a TV show that is being filmed in Victoria called Easton Prep. You can Google it if you'd like. A lot of you know of it. If you live in Victoria, you know that this has been happening. There's some rowing shots that they would like to get on the day. So you can ask any of the club members some more details if you're interested in that, or you can just Google Easton Prep. That's what's happening on Sunday. Yeah, if you see that. And I think that's all I have for general housekeeping. And I'm going to hand it over to Gorge to talk about the important stuff, which is the racing. Gordon.
Okay, hi everybody. As you're probably already aware, the race format this year is the same as last year, and that's with the traditional head of the gorge in both mornings and using the reverse course, what we're calling the tail of the gorge, in the afternoons. Now, for safety and fairness, racing must occur with the current under the Tillicum Bridge and the Gorge Narrows. Our best predictions are that the flood will begin around between 9:30 and 10 a.m. and the ebb around 1600, 4 p.m. Head of the gorge launching and tail of the gorge returning often does not get the opportunity to row with the current. And this always provides crowd entertainment and certainly creates lasting memories. This year, the currents should actually be manageable, but still reacting immediately to the instructions from the angels under the bridge, Keith, later, can be critical, especially do not wait for a coxswain translation. That always takes too long. In order to ensure that the starts occur as scheduled, all launching must be complete by the published Control Commission close. If you are not launched by then, you will have missed your race. And as I say every year, everyone can't be the last to launch. The launch beach at the park has a split rail fence this year and some large boulders in the sand. Bit of a tripping hazard if you don't keep your eyes open. The oars can be stored against the fence, just not at the entrance, or various other locations where it's not a tripping hazard. The Control Commission will be checking bow balls, heel retention, and single hand release, and that you have the correct bow number attached, which you're doing yourself. You should ensure that the shell is fully compliant before approaching. It slows everything down if we have to reject you. The stay warm or warm up directions are always clockwise, while the cool down post finish is counterclockwise. And the elders amongst you can explain my analog watch references. This year, things have been enhanced a little. The Point Hope Maritime Floating Dock in the Victoria Upper Harbor has been upgraded with a portable toilet for rowers to heed the call of nature. The tail of the gorge pre-start area, now that's the afternoon racing, was quite constricted last year. This year, we'd like the higher bow numbers to proceed through the Tillicum Bridge into Portage Inlet to warm up. We'll send a safety boat after you, but specifically, this should be all and only Saturdays, race 33 masters. That's bow number 56 and above. On Sunday, we're talking about race 69 onwards, and that's bow numbers 53 and above. Now, not only will that give you space to warm up, it helps pre-sort the pre-launch group and makes things easier on our marshals. On average, there's 74 crews per flight. So at the start, when the two earlier marshals are trying to sequence the crews by bow number, your shell should be in its approximate relative distance away from the start within the stay warm area mass of shells. So we do not want the big numbers blocking the little numbers, please. Once sequenced in that queue for the start, close up any gaps and then wait even with the marshal who will send you off at the appropriate interval with the command. Now, hopefully you've heard this before, on the paddle. That means row, please, row. Now you have enough room to build up some speed before you cross the actual start line. You may hear the starter address you as crew such and such approaching the line. Go. That should not take you by complete surprise. That just means your time is being recorded. Do not stop, please. Now, this basically, if we're talking head of the gorge in the morning, you're now proceeding away from the upper harbor towards the GNRC docks, and you're turning left to go under the Selkirk Trestle. There's a whole bunch of rocks next to shore on the left on your port side. There is somebody guarding those, but do not go through there. If you happen to make it through without totally destroying your shell, you'll be penalized a time penalty. Further along, as you approach the Tillicum Bridge and the Gorge Narrows, there's obviously only room for one boat at a time through there. If you're overtaking somebody, we have a marshal there who will designate that the first boat or the fastest boat at their discretion can proceed first through that spot and penalize anybody who's not compliant. Now, the afternoon tail of the gorge returns from the upper harbor because we're going in the opposite direction. That cool down area will be governed by a Finnish return marshal. For the tail of the gorge, you launch and the warm-up area is just across the waterway, and so is the start. And then we're waiting for the ebb tide so that you're racing with the current, and you go into the inner harbor, but there's not room to take your boats out with the oncoming traffic. So you all have to wait, one humongous mass. And that Finnish return marshal will hopefully send you off in the same sequence that you were racing, but just a heck of a lot quicker. It'll be bow to stern, bow to stern. And we're hoping to avoid congestion at the Narrows. Now, finally, just always listen and follow the direction of the umpires, and they should keep you out of trouble. That's it.
Okay, Gordon, we can put up the course map. So it's the recordings that we've put in the group chat of what the course was. In other meetings, we've shown you drone footage of the course, but we didn't really want to confuse people because we don't have any drone footage of the new course, just of the old course. It's still useful, the head of the gorge drone footage that's in there for you guys to have a look at. But we can put up the map, and Gordon, we'll just put it up briefly again so you can maybe just show, just talk about the no passing zones again, some of the key highlights with the map up. Does that think that would be a good idea?
Sure.
In absence of having, yep.
I'll even wait until the map goes up.
Right, okay. Map is going to go up.
Or I could start talking even before.
We're almost there. We're almost there. There's some techie stuff here. All right. Can somebody on the call give me an okay if they can see the map?
I can.
Okay, I can. Now,
Okay.
this is the head of the gorge. So you can see that we're starting in the lower right-hand side where it says start line. Then there is that red area before the trestle. That's the out of bounds rocks.
Use your mouth.
Then before the Tillicum Bridge, there's that yellow area. That is the no passing zone. Now, even when we come to the tail of the gorge, that no passing zone is flipped around and on the other side of the bridge, because that's the direction the traffic's coming from. Seldom would we think that anybody is going to be foolish enough to veer into the rocks coming out of the trestle, but stay out of it nonetheless. We will only have a safety boat there to look after you, so they can pick up the pieces. I think that's it for me. Any questions? And you're muted, Rachel.
Okay, Keith, would you like to talk a little bit about your role and what the athletes can expect and some tips and tricks of getting through the current?
Sure. Thank you, Rachel, and welcome everyone.
There's a question.
Sorry, we've just got a question first.
It says, on the map, it says the red buoys must be kept on the starboard side in the key. However, the arrows of the race show the red buoys on the port side of the racing line. Is it supposed to say port side, or does it depend on which direction you're going, morning or afternoon?
Okay. Don't know if you could hear that in the background.
Yes to all. Stay in the deep water.
Stay in the deep water.
So I have a question just to start off with. Is there a point at which in the tail of the gorge, an indication for the rowers and athletes where the no passing zone starts?
Can you get that? If you give us a sec, we can put up the tail of the gorge map.
Yeah, I mean, I'd almost say that given that it's so close to the start of the race, there maybe is no passing before the narrows. But that's up to you guys.
It's there. Can you see it now? So that this is a no passing zone here.
Yeah, you can see that it's probably right now about 30% or a little bit more of the distance. I think that's about it. It'll be the discretion of the umpire who's at that location.
Okay. All right.
Worst case scenario, they'll intervene just to prevent a collision.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. For my part, I get to watch all the crews, and I get to watch them perform well or perform not so well, as it may be. But my main job is to see you get safely through the narrows, both during the race, but also before, in order to get up to the race. So that's my key focus, and we will try our best to keep everyone safe. And as a secondary goal, we will try and keep equipment safe and not have anyone damage equipment. It's pretty rare that we don't have the odd blade touch the rocks, just because of challenges in keeping you straight, challenges with the water. And today, or rather this weekend, especially in the afternoon, we may, oh no, is it in, yeah, no, it will be higher tide in, so it's in the morning, we may have low water, isn't it? Because we're turning to flood at when?
It is turning to flood just before launching finishes, so that we're racing with the flood. So yes, you're right. That's when the water will be the lowest.
Yeah. So the one indication was that the eelgrass is quite evident in part of the narrows. So it'll be important to stay close to the causeway being the south side of the channel and alongside the rock wall. We will have someone along there guiding and giving instructions as to where crews should come as they approach the narrows. And we'll be using that area as well to get crews lined up, ready to come through. So essentially, you'll be given instructions to where to locate and position your boat as you approach the narrows, and then I or someone else underneath the bridge will be giving you instructions to follow through and come through under the narrows. So the most important and key thing is that you listen. And that just is, it's not just the coxswains, but everyone in the crew listens. Everyone should know their seat number, their side, whether it's port or starboard, also whether it's right or left, because every once in a while I might be just saying right or left because people don't seem to understand port or starboard occasionally. So know where you are in the boat, know what side of the boat you're on, and please listen. So coxswains, if your crews are not listening tonight, then it's important for you and your coaches to relay that message, and that during the passage through the narrows, the crews will be listening to me or to another person under the bridge and not to be listening to you. If you hear me say, okay, coxswain, you can control your boat and come through under your own guidance, then fair enough. And that may happen given that conditions might be benign enough that you could do that. And I see that you're under control, and we can go ahead and do that. And that will speed up the process. But until you hear me or someone else say that, then please, athletes should listen to me and respond to me and not the coxswain. Okay. So going back to the head of the gorge, we'll just do that one first, just because it's the traditional one and most people know the sort of the key markers. So as you approach the narrows and come around, I've forgotten the name of the point, and into the line of buoys, there's two lines of buoys, and they essentially act as a funnel. As you come, so green will be on your right-hand side, red will be on the left. So they do two things. They keep you in the middle of the course, and especially the red ones, they keep you from rowing off into the shoreline on the north side. But the green ones, if you follow them relatively closely, they are going to give you a very good course and the most efficient course in heading towards the narrows. So they're set up such that they will do that, and that they guide you around the course and straight into the narrows. And we set them up essentially because we do get current coming with us, obviously. We'll be rowing, the head of the gorge will be rowed with the flood, so it's with you. And it's important that the buoys are in the right place, that they do help the boats come straight through. There will be instructions given though, because the boats, I mean, ultimately, everyone's going to be in a slightly different position, so we have to guide you anyway. Be prepared to stop. We may have to stop crews coming into the narrows. We try not to, and obviously during the race, it's important to try and keep everyone flowing, because that's just a real problem if crews do have to stop for whatever reason in the narrows. But it does happen, and more often than not, it happens with a crew after the narrows where we have eddies and currents that are just uncomfortable to row through, and they throw the boat around, and that's more than likely where someone might go in for a swim. Having said that, a trick is to try and relax. I mean, you want to keep hold of your blades, obviously, but try and relax, try and let the boat do what it's going to do, not fight it too much. Let it go, and then slowly work your way back. So, and gain control. It'll be closest, kind of closest to the narrows for 20 meters past the narrowest point. It'll start to be the worst, but it gets better. So, again, we'll have someone guiding you, approaching in through the narrows, and someone on the other side will also have someone spotting you there. However, you want to be aware of your bearings and understand that as you come through on your right-hand side, your right-hand shoulder, say, there is a stone and concrete wall. You don't want to hit it. You just should be aware that that's there. we'll be guiding you away from it. On the other side are stumps, trees, bushes, holes, and if the tide is low, could be eelgrass, which may or may not be an issue for some, but we will try and keep you in the middle of the channel as best we can. So on the return, so in the tail of the gorge in the afternoon, similar issues, just different conditions. So you'll be racing using the concrete and stone wall on your left now on the south side. Use that as a guideline for racing, approaching the narrows. And then you will have to take instruction again, going through the narrows from that point. So similar, just different conditions. Try and learn your understand understand what the sort of the features are on the shoreline if you can, and where you are. We will obviously try and keep you in the right course, but ultimately you're in control of the boat. If you don't listen or follow the instructions, we can't do anything. And the sooner you react, the sooner things go well, or things might go well. If you take even 2 or 3 seconds to react, it may be just too late. So essentially what we're trying to do is anticipate what's going to happen to your boat as it approaches narrows and give you instruction essentially before you have to make a move or a stroke. So if you react quickly, then chances are we'll have the desired effect. If you react slowly, then and it happens, it will happen. We're lost in a way, and we'll have to go to plan B. So again, listen as best you can, react. Don't wait for your coxswain. You're not listening to the coxswain, you're listening to us. React to us, and try not to have too much between here and your oars. In other words, just you hear it, you do it. That's the best we can do. So I think that's about it. Again, I guess just to reiterate, when you enter the line of buoys in either direction during the race, you cannot overtake another crew. So even if that crew is slower and you've been catching up, and yes, you want to pass them, you can't pass until you are through and underneath the bridge. So at which point the passing crew will have the right of way. It's not always easy for another crew to get out of the current though. So we don't want conflict and we don't want collisions. So you're just going to have to bear with the other crew if that is not possible. We'll do our best to allow the overtaking boat to have that right of way. And other than that, I wish you all well and have a good regatta. And given that the race is both days, both morning and afternoon, please bear with us because that's quite a bit of time spent yelling at crews. So by the end of the day, I don't know what I might be saying, but we will try and do our best. Yeah.
And we
And
really appreciate that, Keith. That's on me, and really trying to highlight what people I think really remember about this regatta is that passing underneath the iconic bridge, and we really wanted to make sure that everybody had lots of opportunities to do that. And unfortunately, that's double the work for you, but double the fun for crews. Did I just rhyme that?
And Keith, I'll recommend throat lozenges, a pocket full.
There's a good question made by Shawnigan Lake in the chat group. I'm not sure how many people are following that, but they asked, given crews are in costumes, can we expect the umpires to address the crew by bow number? And Gordon replied to that and said, umpires have race schedules and will try when feasible to add the name, but we'll definitely use bow numbers.
Yeah, and we try with binoculars, etc., to identify crews as they come to the Narrows. For example, for our part, it's not always possible, and certainly bow numbers do get lost and knocked off occasionally. We'll try our best. We also use blade colors and symbols to try and identify crews, but it could be that there's, three University of Calgary boats, for example, in a row. Um, we'll try and get the numbers. Once you're headed directly for us, obviously it's hard for us to see the bow number. So we might be using something else, whatever it is. If you have a costume and it's identifiable, we'll probably call you that, right? So just again, listen.
Thanks, Keith. That's great. Just a few things that I've that I missed out. Team tents and where you can put your boats. There is a boat racks in a boating area across from the pavilion, across from the parking lot. You're also welcome to put up team tents there in that area, or really in any grass spot that you can find. You're welcome to put up your team tent. At the moment, there are a number of non-marked tents that are on site. There's about 15 of them. They're actually put in place by Eastern Prep, but they are for our use. So if you didn't bring a tent, or you did bring a tent, but you don't want to put it up, there are lots of tents around the regatta site. And if there's a free one, claim it. No problem. And if you've lost your stuff, the lost and found will also be in the pavilion. That seems to be a known thing. And lastly, on Sunday, trailers trying to get out of the trailer park. Parking has always is tight down at the site. There is overflow parking across the street at Fairway Market to park cars. But the key here is on Sunday, the boats need to get out of the trailers, need to get out of that boat park. And there will be some people there trying to keep certain spots free. And I will be putting stuff, taking pictures of people's cars as it gets closer to the time, saying, please, can you move your car? Trailers need to get out. So please watch the HOGTOG participant group closer to leaving time on Sunday, any from 3 o'clock onwards, really 4 o'clock onwards, for trailers trying to get out of the trailer park. And I think that's all for me, unless Gord, do you have any last notes?
Can Gord answer the last chat question?
There's one last question. You're muted, Gord.
Yeah, there's a couple of chat questions.
Okay. Yep. Would you like to answer them, Gord?
Oh, me. Okay, sorry. Well, Rachel, it's
the hog is 3.8.
3.8. I
believe.
Okay.
Since we did it. Yeah.
And the control commission, I just gave the duration, 1 hour and 15 minutes in the morning, 1 hour and 10 minutes in the afternoon, but it's all in the schedule in the regatta package.
Larry will answer your question after the call.
Let's get going. Having fun.
Both races are the same. Both races are the same distance.
Oh, nice.
Both hog and hog are the same distance.
Love that.
Any other questions? We've been able to extend the start a little bit, yes. The distance did change slightly, but also we did a better measurement on a boat. We did a better measurement this year than last year.
There's also a question about red buoys on port side always. Well, obviously not. They're not moving the buoys around between races.
Right. So take out the always there. But the boys are there to guide you more than anything. Are there to guide you in the right, to keep you out of no-go areas and to also guide you into underneath a bridge, as Keith stated earlier.
I'm not sure if this person realizes it's the same course in two different directions, so obviously the buoys are on the other side.
Somebody has asked a question to confirm. You said the start time would be pretty much the same as the regatta package, except 3 to 4 minutes difference. I'm not sure where that came from, but the start times for are as they are in the regatta package. Where they may be adjusted is if you are already on the water. We have all boats on the water ready to race comfortably, and we happen to be there a few minutes early, we will start the race early, where we won't necessarily wait for 11 o'clock on the dot. If we have all the crews ready and the narrows are ready, we will go then.
And that will definitely hold true for the head of the gorge or the afternoon tail of the gorge. All those times were based on our expected turn to an ebb. And that will be subject to observation by Keith. And if he happens to say it turned earlier than expected and we're all ready, well, we'll go a few minutes early, but that's about it.
Okay, and we're popping up the map again because someone asked, where is the location on the map where the high numbered boats wait? And so, Gord, maybe you can just talk about the warm-up areas for HOG and the high volume, and then we'll put you on TOG and you can talk about the split warm-up.
Right, go down to TOG because this is head of the gorge.
Yeah.
It's the same map except we're going in the other direction.
Right.
Here we go, tail of the gorge. Okay, you can see that there's a warm-up area in the upper left-hand corner. And you can see that that is called the Craigflower Bridge, just to the northwest of that warm-up area. That is where, for tail of the gorge, because that's a small area, we'll put about 30% of the high bow number boats. Beyond, to the northwest of Craigflower Bridge.
When you're on the water, there are umpire boats and safety boats on the water that are there to make sure that you are in the right place, going in the right direction. When in doubt, listen to your umpires.
Do you want to show the waiting area for a HOG as well, or you don't want to? Okay, and then somebody asked, how much room is there to build before the start line?
Okay, so, Gord, would you like to address that? How much room is there to build before the start line?
We want to make it as long as we possibly can. And that depends on the cooperation we get from the crews and how efficiently the pre-marshals work. But we want to make it very long as we possibly can. All the way back to the bridge, for instance, for tail of the gorge. All the way up to Rock Bay for head of the gorge. We won't achieve it, but we'll try.
These have been great questions. Thank you, everybody, for contributing. Anything else? I can't see now.
Sorry, just to confirm again for the buoy colors again. Questions.
Please, the buoy colors for now.
Well, that makes part of you guys.
Use the buoys as guides. The buoy colors will change depending on which direction that you're going.
It doesn't make sense.
So we're not moving the buoys between races.
That makes sense too.
So the clarifying question is, so essentially just go through the buoys and you're good. And right, that's it. Right, stay between them.
If you have two lines of buoys, one's red and one green, stay between them.
Yes.
Okay, and then somebody wants to know, can they go through the middle of Bay? I think they mean Bay Bridge.
Yes, you will go through, you can go through the middle of Bay Bridge. Yes, you can take, when we're racing this course, you can take the best line, the best line possible, of course, without going into the no-go zones. Let me take that wording out of the package. All right, if there are no more questions, any span of the bridge is okay. Yes, but you'll want to go through the middle.
Yes.
What do you bet those are rowers?
Sorry, say, it's a question? No. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, well, really looking forward to a great day. Please, everybody, let's just pray for sun and great weather tomorrow. But we do have a pavilion should you need reprieve, but you won't. So I'm confident let's going to have some good weather this weekend, but we're definitely going to have some great racing. Look forward to meeting you all. Do make sure you come and say hi. I'd love to meet you, and have a great race. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.